Alright, good morning everybody. This morning I'll show you how to make a very quick lentil curry. This only takes about 15 or 20 minutes out of your day. Here I'm using red lentils. You can use brown or mung beans as the alternative. You definitely should soak overnight. These guys you don't need to. You can literally just do a little soak like this if you want to. But I like to overnight soak these anyway. It just makes the cooking process that much easier and simpler to do. So got 4 onions cooked here. I've put the onions in there along with 3 cloves of garlic, mixing it all up. The onions, of course, first, lots of oil, and the garlic follows. And then I'm going to put a whole lot of herbs in just a moment. Lots of water here, lots of rinsing. When you start with the rinsing of these things, rinse them at least 2-3 times, because the milky liquid and the little impurities on it easily get thrown off, and you can put fresh water each time. So definitely do that process. So right now I'm getting a very big pot of food going. So I've put 2 kilograms of the red lentils, and I've put a whole butternut which I've chopped up and put in. I have left some onions and garlic for the end, which you put in right at the end, and I've put my spices in. Now the question, of course, everyone asks is, how much spices do you put in and what do you put in? I put in all sorts of different spices. The imperative ones are cardamom, cumin, ground cumin, also called jeera, and smoked paprika works very well. Otherwise, use everything else that you can find. So rosemary, thyme, coriander is really good too. It's also one of the important ones. Oregano, parsley, and what they call masala, which is also a name for curry. Any kind. You can put in garam masala, you can put in roasted leaf masala, mother-in-law, father-in-law, whatever. And bay leaves also go down really well. Don't worry about putting too much. For this big pot, I put a generous handful of all sorts of these spices in. And obviously at the end, you can do a taste test and see how they are. So you mix that all in there. I've put 1.5 liters of boiling water in here already. As long as it's nice and soupy and lots of liquid, you let that cook, get to the boil. I don't like to kill food, so I don't like to cook it for way too long. Just let it go for a little bit. This butternut that I've added in here will also have to soften up. So just leave that for 10-15 minutes. This whole process will take you about 20 minutes of your work. And in the meantime, of course, you can care for your sprouts or make yourself a hummus like I did last night. So happy days, happiness in the kitchen it is. So this is several minutes later. The lentil curry is just about to come to the boil. It's looking really good. The very last things to do are chop up those onions and garlic really small, throw them in, some salt to taste. I only use Himalayan rock salt or good quality salt. I don't use the standard rubbish salt because it's not very good. Ionized salt is not quality, and of course salt is really important in our bodies. It's the second most important thing after water. So I like to put salt to taste, and very important is something acidic at the end of this whole process. So as soon as you finish the cooking process, then it's salt. And you can put lemon juice, which is the winner, a lot of lemon juice, or some vinegar, apple cider vinegar, or anything, any kind of vinegar that you can put, something acidic at the end, and that should work for taste. Always don't be shy to add much more herbs, spices. Be honest with yourself. I forgot the turmeric. That's really important ingredient in this process. But otherwise, have fun. There's no right and wrong with this. You just make a big pot, and you can let it cool down and deep freeze it, and you've got food for many days. If you invest in a nice big pot, which you can fill up to the brim, and then make it once in a week. 15 minutes of work. I really recommend you have some fun doing this. My name's Stef. You guys have been great.